The referee for today's game is Willy Voetlin of Switzerland, and he drops the puck. And we're underway, and Fetisov for the Soviets to Makarov. Back to Fetisov, who's got his old defense partner back, Kasatonov. Here comes Larionov moving in. Centered, Krutov shoots, and that's one's wide of the target. Soviets go immediately on the offense. Here's Kasatonov pinching in, trying to center it, but Finland's defense come up with the puck and are able to clear it out of the zone. Well, the green unit, as they're called, back intact. Kasatonov missed the last game with an injury, but he's back in there today, and he feeds it to Makarov, who crosses center, leaves it for Larionov. Neat move into Krutov, shoots. Mulis a save on that, and then it's shot out of there by number 21, Lehtonen for Finland. And Kasatonov goes back to get it, and that's an icing call. And we'll be ready for a face-off in the end of Finland when we return. Ruotsalainen for Finland, trying to clear it out of there. Got to the line. Semyonov for the Soviets, holding it in over to Gusarov, and it's knocked off his stick, and Byakin back for the Soviets. Here's a chance, and Mulis away out of the net, halfway to the blue line to clear it out to center ice. Here's Byakin in on right wing to Yashin, into Semyonov, shooting. Shot it just wide of the target. Gusarov at the point. That shot wide of the target. Here's Byakin at the point. Semyonov moving in. Semyonov shoots off a stick and up over the glass. Well, if we were wondering whether the Soviets would be serious about their business at hand today, I think we've just seen they are.
Well, territorially, but they're very loose out there. They're kind of going in a very loosey-goosey style. I think we're going to see a pretty wide-open hockey game. They're dominating it because they just flat-out skill the Finns. But it still could be one of those games that'll be like run-and-gun basketball before we're done.
By the way, I think I said Mulis had made a save. The starting goaltender is Tomi for Finland today, number 30. Yuka Tomi, 25-year-old native of Tampere. At the other end, the Soviets with the man that's played goal for them throughout, Milnikov. Now trying to break out for Finland is Blomqvist. In across the line for number 17, Laiane. He's checked. Now Laiane trying to center one. Bekov back of the net, couldn't get it, and picking it up is Järvi, but he lost it, and Homatop shoots it down into Finland's end of the rink. Timo Blomqvist back to get it. Being forechecked on the play by Starikov. Now Homatop couldn't hold it in, and back goes Fetisov, number 2. Here's Fetisov. Backhander just wide of the net. And bounces all the way to center ice. Kasatonov there to get it. Cleared it in, and Saarinen, number 7, back with Eloranta. And Karri Eloranta starts to carry out. He circled back because one of his men, Lehtonen, had gone in ahead of the play and would have put it offside. Now they drop it all the way back into their own zone. Back to Eloranta. Finland clearing it. Lehtonen dropping it back, and here comes Eloranta. Shoots it ahead on left wing for Nikolainen. He couldn't get it, and the Soviets take over with Cherny to Fetisov. Back to Cherny. Ahead to Lomakin on left wing. Leaving it for Mogilny, the young rookie. Now it's centered to Mogilny. Back to Fetisov. He shoots, and he fired it wide with Tomi not even seeing the shot from the point.
I see the way they moved that around, and again, there is Mogilny right in front of the slot, made the extra pass back to the blue line for no real reason. A little bit of pond hockey going on out there.
Here's Fetisov to Kasatonov to Makarov as the green unit is out there. Makarov headmanning to Krutov. Shoots, and Tomi took it against his chest and held on to it. Well, you mentioned an all-star team. I want to start with that guy, Fetisov. And if they have an MVP, I want to vote for him, too.
And if we can find something else to vote for, we'll throw his name into that as well.
Main architect of the gold medal.
Oh, yes. The turnaround in his play more than any other player has meant gold for the Soviets.
Ruotsalainen trying to clear it out of there. Lehtonen got it out into the center ice area, and back is Larionov. Now they drop it into their own zone, and here comes Larionov through center ice. Leaves it for Krutov. Dropped it back, and having to chase back after it is Gusarov. Over to Vyakin. Now to Gusarov. Into Makarov. And he tried to pass it, but it rolled off his stick. No score in this game. Soviets have dominated. They dump it in. Rutov with a deflection that Tomi had to make the save on. And here is Ruotsalainen, number 29. One of the great skaters in the game of hockey. Lets it fly. Mildakov save, rebound. Mildakov had to flop across. It's still loose in front. And he reaches out after robbing Oyanen from close in.
Well, when we talk about all-stars in this tournament, Mildakov, in the goaltending department, you certainly have to look at his glittering goals against statistic. But I think there are a couple of goaltending performances that rank higher than his. He's made the saves when he's had to.
Good opportunity for the Finns. You know, just a basic shot at the net and somebody going for the rebound.
Here's Semyonov winning a faceoff, and Starikov clears it to Yashin, who tipped it down the ice. Tomi out of the net to play it up on the boards. Gets it ahead for Lainie. He just cleared it to center. Soviets and Finland meeting. Final game of these 88 Winter Olympic Games in hockey. And there's no score. Soviets shoot it to Yashin at center. He couldn't get around the Finnish defenseman Blomqvist. Now over to Saarinen. And he shot it off the boards to center ice with Starikov back to get it. To Semyonov, back to Starikov, return to Semyonov, who had not had a goal until the Soviets' last game when he had two. Here's Starikov beating it through. Looked like it was offside, but they let it go. Svetlov shot it into the corner. Finland trying to clear it. Blomqvist over onto the other side. And now Järvi circles his own goal. He fires it out of there. That will go the length of the ice. And going back, Kravchuk. He touches it. That's icing against Finland. Soviets nothing, Finland nothing. We're in the early minutes of this game.
Now.
No score. Finland and the Soviet Union here at the Saddle Dome. Back of the net is Numminen, the young defenseman for Finland. Couldn't clear it. Here's Homatop in the corner. Tried to center, but Lehtonen came up with it and was able to clear it outside the line. Kamiensky dropping it back to Fetisov for the gold medal winners in this tournament, the Soviets. Ahead to Homatop. Moving it in, dropped it back, and it comes back into center ice. Kasatonov has it there. He fired it off the boards, but it's tipped back out by Numminen. And now Fetisov chases back into his own zone. We've played 7 minutes here in the first period. Bekoff to Fetisov. Now to Lomakin. Lomakin leaves it for Mogilny, and a stick save there by Tomi, the goaltender. Bekoff back of the net. Mogilny trying to center. He gets a rough ride. Now it is centered, rolled into the crease by Lomakin. And Yuka Tomi, the goaltender, able to smother it, but it got dangerously close to that goal line.
Well, Tommy and Millis, the two goaltenders for Finland, have played quite well in this tournament. Tommy has a 2.03 goals against average, and Millis with a 1.83. There's a look at the sticks on the Soviet bench, which, by the way, half of them are NHL sticks. Gifts normally from NHL players, most of them after the Canada Cup and other tournaments.
They don't save them for souvenirs, they use them, right?
Use them. By the way, Mildakov has played all 7 games so far, has given up only 11 goals for a 1.57 goals against. Certainly the best goals against average in the tournament. But as I say, he hasn't been tested that much. If I were going to pick an all-star goaltender, I might as well start right here. I think I'd like to look at Andy Moog, whose 2 key games near the end of the tournament for Canada kept them in the medal running right to the last day.
Here is Vyakin trying to make a play. Back to Gusarov. Shooting. And a save on a high shot by Tomi. And then Finland try and clear it out of there. Here's Järvi. Dropping it back to Saarinen. Over now to Blomqvist, number 3. Lead pass too far ahead for Järvi. Chasing back after it. Soviets clear it. I think they thought it was going to be icing, but it wasn't called. Blomqvist back at center. Dumps it back in. And Gusarov goes back to get it. He leaves it for number 11, Lariana. He and Fetisov have been the two big improvements since Canada Cup time from where Ron and I and Brad sit. It's dumped in, but it's icing as the Soviets were on their own side of center when they shot it in. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I've heard you say the same thing about Fetisov and Lariana.
Absolutely. They're the other ends of that line, Makarov and Karutov, have been just about where they were, but Larionov is out there blocking shots and hitting people and making great plays, and he wasn't doing that during the Canada Cup.
Here's Karutov taking a pass down left wing, but Eloranta played him perfectly, took it away, and Finland carry out of there. Dumped in from center ice by Susi. Now Eloranta at the point. Got it into the corner, but the Soviets are quick to clear it right back out. Eloranta over onto left wing for Timo Susi, number 10. He's checked, and Makarov feeds Karutov. He tries to flip it high for Larionov. That's Susi going back for Finland to get it over to Eloranta. And they shoot it into center ice. Starikov hustles back, quickly cleared it out. Here is Ruotsalainen as Finland shoot it in. Here's Tumisto racing in, but Kravchuk took him out, and Starikov feeds it around to Makarov. Now to Karutov at center ice. And back-checking and breaking it up was Lehtonen for Finland. Here's Ruotsalainen, number 29. Feeding it in on the wing for Keskinen. He got it near the net. Milnikov cleared it away. Now Ruotsalainen back to Rotnen at the point. That shot wide of the net, now centered. And Fetisov has it back of the goal, stolen by Finland. Tuomisto trying to center. Now Keskinen with the puck. This fires it into the opposite corner. And Semyonov loses. Keskinen coming up with it, centered, but good defensive play by Kravchuk to break it up. And now Finland being very aggressive with their forechecking and their play. We're still scoreless, and we played 10:03 of the first period.
Well, in 1980, when we were at Lake Placid, Vyacheslav Fetisov was just a young player, about fourth in line on that team in terms of defensemen. Who will be 8 years from now the Vyacheslav Fetisov? If you were betting anybody, would you name Kravchuk?
I would probably lean towards him because, you know, they took him out, put him in, inserted him in the lineup when Kasatonov come up with, I think it was a Charlie horse. So put him with the old fellow and he'll learn a couple of tricks.
Here's Semyonov getting a pass as he crosses the Finnish blue line. Gets it into the corner, but Yashin can't get it loose on the boards. Comes to Fetisov at the point. Fetisov shot blocked, and Blomqvist clears it. But over skating it was this man, Oyanен. He gets it again, couldn't get anywhere. There's Blomqvist pulling down Yashin, but Yashin took a dive, and the referee said, "You're not going to fool me."
That's a little different over
this
there.
will be a penalty on the far side.
Yashin practically leaped into his arms. He dove before he was touched and kind of landed in the Finnish player's arms, but the business on the other side of the ice, that was a little different. There was a good hook over there.
Svetlov will get a hooking penalty.
That's a good hook.
9:17 left in the period. No score.
They may never score.
And the way Finland has not lost to the Soviets in the past two Izvestia tournaments. They won in '86, and they tied the Soviets this past year 3-3. Soviets trying to go through this tournament with an unblemished record. They've already clinched the gold. They have a perfect 7-0 record. And another win today would make it 8-0, but there's a steal by Bekov. He couldn't get a shot. Soviets are short-handed. Puck comes to center ice. Byakin couldn't get anywhere, and here's Bekov going back to get it. Over to Gusarov. Shot into center ice. Homatov races down after it. Here's the young 19-year-old defenseman Newman and loses it. Homatov shoots, and a big save there by Tomi, the goaltender. Now Bekov after the puck. Centered. Byakin a drive just wide. And Lehtonen drops it back. Soviet short-handed. Bekov in front. Checked at the last second by Susi, and he couldn't get the shot off. Finland on a power play, but you'd never know it.
Maybe if you kind of even this tournament up, if you'd make the Soviets play shorthanded all the time. Even then, they've got an offense going. Looks like the Oilers out there.
Here comes Viertänenen, number 16, around in the boards to Mikko Lainen. Now behind the net, Kaskinen back on the point. Over to the other point for Ruotsalainen. Shot wide of the target. Ruotsalainen at the other point. In on the wing, Kaskinen to Ruotsalainen. Shot blocked. Now into the corner for Mikko Lainen. Centered. Milnikov save. Rebound. And Ruotsalainen's shot was blocked and bounces out to center. 15 seconds left in the penalty to the Soviets. Finland with Ruotsalainen. Cruising down the left side. Round on the boards for number 18, Tuomisto. Back to Kaskinen. Now to the point to Ruotsalainen. Centered. Shot off a skate by Lechtonen. And the Soviets are now back at full strength at center. And a shot right on by the Finnish player Viertänenen. And a very good save there by Milnikov. Finland's best chance of this game.
Here's an earlier chance from behind the net. Now it's Ruotsalainen, I think, that took it in there. Out in front. That's the one we just saw, yeah. Milnikov making the save. Well, he's going to have to work today, it looks like. After this tournament, he goes back to his club team in Chelyabinsk. That's in Siberia, not part of the mainstream of Soviet hockey. That's Tommy on the other side. While they were playing a man short, they gave up a couple of scoring chances. That was Homatov getting it out in front of the net.
Shots on goal favor the Soviets 7-4, but there's no score. Cherny wins a faceoff. Kasatonov couldn't clear it out of there, though. Finland knock it back to the net, and here's Fetisov. Up the middle for Cherny. Cherny to Lomakin. Number 23, Lomakin. Got it to the line, then was checked there by Saarinen. Saarinen dropping back into his own zone. Here's Mogilny checking him. But Järvi there to cover up, and Finland clear it to center ice. Here's number 17, Laine moving in. Couldn't get around Kasatonov. Cherny to Kasatonov. Now to Mogilny. There's number 10, Mogilny, but Timo Blomqvist back to get it for Finland. Less than 7 minutes to play. 6:15 left in the first period. Here comes Blomqvist, number 3. Trying to center, pass in behind Laiane. And now back comes Lomakin to Fetisov. Moves in, makes a little move, drops it to his buddy Kasatonov. Moved in deeper, Blomqvist broke it up. And back comes Finland. Soviets trying to be a little cuter than we've seen them in earlier games.
Well, just, there was a place where he should have shot, obviously, and Kasatonov knows that. He just stick handle right into the traffic. You see this sort of thing, and you tend to get the feeling when you see the Soviets play this way that they're playing for a tie, that they're not going to insult anybody by winning or losing this game. They're just going to tie it. Now, I'm not,
Well, watch out for Karutov in the clear. Diving across. Tomi, the goaltender, to rob. Karutov, who was in alone.
Well, what do you say about that? Do you give the credit to the goaltender here?
Well, I give the credit. It took Karutov a long time to handle the puck, and he went to his backhand. Tomi just outright guessed him and stoned him with his left pad. Watch him go to his left.
Well, he had his stick down there, too, blocking the 5-hole, and that prevented the puck from going between his legs.
Larionov winning a face-off. They work it into the corner, centered, but there was Eloranta for Finland. Karri Eloranta shooting it in, and going back to get it is Gusarov. Big, strong defenseman for the Soviets. Round onto the other side to Byakin, and the Soviets clear it nicely to center ice. Makarov now circles back, and they'll start over again. Gusarov to Larionov. No score. Now less than 5 minutes left in the first period. Here's Makarov moving in, tried to deke, go to his backhand, and then never really got the shot off. Larionov to Makarov. To Larionov. Side of the net to Karutov. Shoots. Pad save. Tomi. Rebound. Cleared, but held in by Byakin. Into Karutov. Now to Larionov. Side of the net to Makarov, but the goal for Finland had been knocked loose. And if I were the goaltender Tomi and I saw the Soviets passing it around like they were, I might have knocked it off myself. We'll be right back. Here is the Soviets with Starikov breaking across center ice. Fell, and the play goes offside at Finland's blue line. We're down to 4:07 left in the first period, and there's no score.
Well, there's Starikov. A surprise entry on this team. Most people who have watched Soviet teams in recent years felt that he was a bit over the hill, but suddenly back in there. He's not the key defenseman that he used to be, but he is very much a part of the Soviet team.
He's the only Soviet player, aside from the goaltenders, who's not had a goal in these Olympics. That's how good the Soviets have been as a whole team. They've been dominated, of course, by the KLM line. But everybody else except Starikov has had a goal. That's Skull spreading it around, boys.
Yeah, they do it to you. We look there at Sergei Yashin and Kravchuk, as we say, the young fellow who I think we're going to hear a lot of. Another one there is Semyonov. These are the names that Svetlov, the names you're going to hear about in years to come as we go up towards the 1992 Olympics in Albertville, France.
Here's Järvi moving in on left wing. Moving it into the corner to number 20, Oyanen. And Fetisov checked him. Soviets try and clear it out. Bekov did get it to Kamensky. Knocked down by Saarinen. Now they move it in on right wing. Oyanen trying to center, did. And the shot was a weak one as Järvi let it go. Back comes Bekov for the Soviets into Homatov. To Bekov, backhander, Tomi the save. And he comes out and clears it up to Järvi. Now to Laiane, number 17 at center. Fetisov there defensively to shoot it back up. Here's Kamensky. Couldn't get around number 3, Timo Blomqvist. Now Saarinen. Couldn't get it out. They drop it back to Blomqvist again. Over to number 7, Saarinen. Finland on the attack. Saarinen trying to move in. Kasatonov tied him up. It's centered, but Susi didn't see it. Now he knocked it behind the net, and it is Kasatonov there to get it. Comes to center, and Eloranta going back to get the puck. No score in this game. We're down to 2:35 remaining. Here's Gusarov. Leading it, or giving it to Mogilny. Tierney now blocked that away. And here comes Mikko Laine, number 24. But back defensively was Biakin. And the Soviets counterattack. Biakin tried to kick it in. Eloranta stopped it, and we're going to get a hooking penalty on the play to Finland. And in the scoreless game, the Soviets will have a power play, their first of this game.
Well, Mikko Laine there is the one that's headed for the penalty box. Lomakin, number 23, is coming out of his own zone for the Soviets and trying to get loose as Biakin, but stick was hauled out of his hands, and Biakin got Mikko Lainen's stick. And in the end, a hooking penalty goes out.
Mikko Laine, a hooking call.
Well, Juan Antonio Samurai, along with the president of the International Ice Hockey Federation, Gunther Sabetsky, watching this one. I wonder if Mr. Sabetsky was cheering for Germany earlier today. That's where he's from. He's not supposed to, of course, but I'm sure deep down he was hoping that Carl Friesen could perform the miracle for Germany's sake, not for Canada's sake.
Soviets on a power play. Here they come to center ice. Larionov carrying in. Soviets are 16 for 33 on the power play. Here's Karutov, and a diving stop by Tomi, the goaltender. 16 for 33 on the power play. That's just about 50%. You can't get it up that high.
Take that little percentage into the Stanley Cup playoffs and see how many cups you win. 1:32 left in the period. That was a nice little play, but a little slow unfolding, and that's why Tommy was able to smell it out.
Ruotsalainen, look at him fly. Could watch him skate all night, number 29 for Finland. Isn't he a beautiful skater?
Oh, yeah, and you wonder if he just put this together game in, game out, he'd be one of the stars of the NHL.
Here's Makarov. Giving it to Fetisov. Into Karutov. Soviets still in a power play. 1:02 left in the penalty. Larionov in the scoreless game. Back on the point to Kravchuk. Cross ice pass to Karutov to Fetisov. We're in the final minute of the first period. Here's Larionov. And Kravchuk couldn't hold it in as it was tipped by Keskinen out to center ice. Fetisov, cross ice pass to Larionov, back to Fetisov, moving in. Fetisov still with control. Into Makarov, across to Fetisov. Side of the net to Karutov. Now to Fetisov. Makarov. To Fetisov. Shot one, but was more a pass, and Karutov failed a deflection try. Side of the net to Makarov. Soviets look like they're putting on a clinic of how to pass the puck, but not shoot.
That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing, Dan.
Kravchuk a drive, and it's deflected high. Makarov is now, Mikko Laine is back on the ice. Soviets with 1 second left, try and center, but the buzzer goes, and the first period is over. Soviets have already won the gold medal. They skate off after one period in a scoreless tie with Finland. Soviets, by the way, outshot Finland in the first period, 11-6.
Please refrain from smoking in the seating bowl of the Olympic saddle. Smoking in the concourse only, please.
Off return to Larionov. Into Karutov. Centered. Comes to Kasatonov with a shot wide. And Susi cleared at the center for Finland. Picked up there by Mikko Laine. And Kasatonov knocks it down. Here's Makarov as the Soviets attack again. Larionov to Makarov. Too closely checked by Vyrtänän. And Eloranta comes back for Finland. Eloranta got it in behind the net. Now Karutov there to pick it up. To Kasatonov. And it's cleared over onto this side to Fetisov. Fetisov for the Soviets. Trying to clear it ahead. Knocked down, and back comes Vyrtänän, number 6 for Finland. No score. Finland dumping it in. And the Soviets come right back out. Semyonov getting it ahead for Yashin, number 25. And he's tied up, and we'll get a penalty here on that play. Tuomisto making it look obvious in a hook, and he'll go to the penalty box. A Soviet power play coming up when we return.
Banking.
With Ron Roosh and Brad Park. Dan Kelly, here's Yashin on a Soviet power play. 2 pokes at it. It's underneath the goaltender, Tomi, and very dangerously close to that red goal line, but apparently it didn't cross. Meanwhile, Tuomisto in the penalty box
Just
here.
a look at the penalty on Tuomisto. A quick stop by Hamatov. It just caught the defenseman. Tuomisto couldn't get to him real quick. There's the other chance coming on the other side. Look at this. We're going to watch in behind Tommy. He hits the post and just sits there. He doesn't know where it is.
Here are the Soviets. Gusarov to Yashin, to Byakin, back to Gusarov. Now Semyonov in on right wing to Svetlov. Knocked off his stick. And Finland come up with it. And Vyrtänän cleared it into center ice. Soviets with the man advantage. And they, as we told you, have a power play percentage of close to 50%. Here's Vyrtänän getting it out. He drops it back for Järvi. Now dropped back deeper for Vyrtänän to Vyrtänän. And he shoots it down the ice. A minute left in the Finnish penalty. Here comes Byakin. Down right wing. Leaving it there for Hamatov. Dropped it back for Kravchuk. Now to Starikov. Soviets 16 for 34 on the power play in these Olympics. Now Eloranta knocked it away, but back comes the Soviets. Hamatov, number 15. Into Bekov in the corner. Comes to the point, Starikov to Kravchuk. Moving in deeper, Kravchuk. Centered, and Hamatov panned on it at the side of the net. Now centered, and Susi is there to clear it away for Finland. Still 15 seconds left in Finland's penalty. Bekoff moving it into Homatov. Homatov to Starikov, a shot wide. Bekoff the rebound. Shot wide of the net. Now Homatov in the far corner. Tuomisto back on, so Finland has killed off the penalty. And Finland cleared out into center ice. Starikov back to get it. Over to Kravchuk. No score. Finland has just killed off a penalty, and now the Soviets clear it away. Here's Mogilny, but that's a two-line offside pass, and the face-off will come back to deep in the Soviet end of the ring.
There's Homatov, who had that little chance at the side of the net. Another one of the young players. Here it is. Nice little move. Now Homatov drifting in, and he sort of fanned on it. You know, they're not concentrating. We wondered before the game just which Soviet team would turn up. Whether they'd play it loose, whether they tried to go through this tournament undefeated. I think we're finding out that this is the team that's going to play it loose. Maybe play for a tie. Let the chips fall where they may. They won't let the only thing that'll turn them on, I think, is if they get behind.
They look as though they're playing to get some extra clips for their highlight reel.
Well,
don't they?
Yeah, the goal. If there's a goal scored by the Soviets,
they want to make it a perfect one.
There'll be about 6 passes or something, and
there's Mogilny missing the net. Finland coming up with it. Eloranta knocked down. And back comes Finland on the attack, trying to carry through the defense. Was Lehtonen. Now Lehtonen in the corner, centered, and Fetisov feeds it down left wing for Czerny. Into Mogilny, back to Czerny, but that's offside at Finland's blue line. You know, you look at there's Mogilny, one of the future stars in the Soviet team. He's pretty good right now.
He's going to be a good player, obviously, but he's got some things to learn about playing in traffic. Here's the chance. Missed the net.
You notice how quick that puck got over there? You know, the defenseman moved in on the boards, knew he was right there, and fired it. That's one thing the Soviets do. They handle those hard passes really well.
I'm going to give you some statistics, first chance we get, about just how dominant the Soviets have been. Here's Larionov over for Gusarov. Shot down the ice, and that will go the length of the ice. And it's icing. Well, first, some statistics. Krutov leads all scorers with 15 points. Larionov is second with 13, tied with Fetisov. Plus minus. This is really impressive. Fetisov plus 18 leads the tournament. Kasatonov plus 14. Krutov is third in the tournament at plus 12. And then Larionov and Makarov slump off to plus 11. And that's in 7 games. I guess the green unit is pretty good.
Oh.
Here come the Soviets. They're out there now. Krutov trying to carry through. And Tomi, the goaltender, shot it away. Finland counter-attacking. Here's Tuomisto. Couldn't get around the defenseman Biakin. And it's Larionov carrying through center ice. Leaves for Biakin into Larionov. Makarov side of the net. Couldn't get a stick on the puck in Finland. Clear at the center. Here's Krutov. To Makarov. Now Biakin fires it around on the boards. Larionov is there. Into Krutov. Now to Makarov to Biakin. Drive right on. That could have made the highlight film if it had been a goal.
Well, they passed it around enough. I think they've got a rule. Only after 6 passes can you put it in.
Here's Makarov. Larionov shoots one wide of the target. Biakin into the corner. To Krutov, now to Larionov, side of the net to Makarov. Makarov sweeps through the crease with a pass. Finland clear it, but Larionov held it in to Krutov. Back on the point, but Tuomisto intercepts and shoots it away. Still no score in this game. Soviet Union and Finland. Puck cleared into center ice, knocked back in by Finland, and that's offside at the Soviet blue line. The Soviets nothing, Finland nothing. We're in the second period, and we'll be right back. with Ron Roosh and Brad Park. Dan Kelly at the Saddle Dome. No score in the game. Soviets have outshot Finland 14-6. Mr. Tikhonov, who will bring a gold medal home with him.
Well, if I were him, I would quit right now. I'd just say, all right, I'm turning it over to younger hands. I've had my run 10 years. He's only the 4th coach in the history of the Soviet Union national team. That goes back to 1948. And, well, he was under so much fire. He proved his point. He won his gold medal. What more can he do?
Here's Yashin putting a backhander through the crease. Finland try and clear it and do get it out of there. Kravchuk having to go back to number 30, Semyonov. Semyonov on left wing, moving it in. Back of the net. Now Svetlov carries in front, centered, deflected by Yashin, but blocked at the defense by Blomqvist and cleared to center. Järvi racing after it. Now Finland on the attack with Blomqvist firing one. Melnikov handled that one. And turning is Kravchuk, number 29. Up the middle to Yashin. He's checked, and Eloranta takes over for Finland, number 9. Off the boards for Saarinen. Ahead for number 10, Susi. Shoots one wide of the target with that shot. Cleared around on the boards. Kravchuk back to get it. We played 8 minutes of the second period. Here's Homatov at center ice. Overskates the puck. Homatov to Bekov. Eloranta's after him, and Eloranta able to knock it out into center ice. Number 2, Fetisov. To Homatov. Dropping it to Kasatonov. Now to Bekov. To Kasatonov. In on right wing for Homatov. Cuts in front. Shoots. Save made by the Finnish goaltender Tomi. Here's a 3-on-2 Finland break. In front of the net, wide open, but unable to handle the pass was Mikko Laine, number 24. And the Soviets clear it to center ice. Here's Viertanen. Dropping it over for Eloranta. Eloranta now on the right side for Lehtonen, number 27. Fetisov goes back and took it away from him easily. Cherny now headmanning to Lomakin to Mogilny. Couldn't get around Ruotsalainen. Now back the other way, Lehtonen, number 27. 2-on-2 break for Finland. Lehtonen shot off the side of the net. And it's Biakin. Clearing it to Mogilny. And he's checked. Not much happening out there, Ron.
No, predictably.
Here's Cherny for the Soviets. Long pass missing Lomakin, goes the length of the ice. And it's icing as Ruotsalainen goes back to touch it. We're approaching the halfway point in this game. It's still scoreless.
The glory.
Puck loose in the Soviet zone. Oyanen almost stole it, but now here's Larionov on the 3-on-2 break to Makarov. His weak shot handled by Tomi, but cleared right onto Larionov's stick. Now to Karutov. Back on the point for number 5, Gusarov. Centered out in front. Stolen by Krutov, trying to get it to Makarov. Now Larionov. And now it's centered, and Järvi comes up with it. Järvi into center ice to Saarinen. He carries into the Soviet zone. Saarinen centered it across. Melnikov cleared that aside. Now dumped in behind the net again by Finland's Järvi. Centered. Susi a shot at Melnikov. Big save. Another shot. Comes to the point in front. Backhander. Wide of the net. They score! After Lyon had missed the net, they got another chance. And Finland takes the lead.
Gusarov in the middle of the play there, and I think it went off his stick and into the net.
That's the guy Oyanen that shot it.
Any bets as to how fast the Soviet ties this back up? Here it is. Gusarov got in the middle of it. It'll come back out. Now Gusarov reaching out. And Ray.
20, Янне, Oyanen.
Well, now here, let's get it in front of the net again. We're still alive here.
Yuka Viertane.
There's the shot. Now watch Gusarov. There it is. Off his skate. He was on his knees and wound up from behind the net. He scored it. Oyanen will get credit for the goal at 10:53.
Oyanen was the man who centered it, but it deflected in. He gets the goal. Virthanen and Laiane get the assist. 10:53 the time. And Finland leads 1-0. Here comes Semyonov. Shoots one wide of the net. Let's see if that goal makes any difference to the Soviet style of play, who seem to content to put on passing exhibitions here. Semyonov to Kravchuk. Shot and saved by the goaltender Tomi. And now Susi trying to clear it out. Centered for Yashin, but knocked away by number 9, Eloranta. And Kravchuk goes back to get it. Kravchuk into Semyonov, leaving it there for Svetlov, but he was checked. Finland leading 1-0. Yashin back of the net. Wheels in front. Eloranta there to break it up. Now here's Semyonov to Svetlov. Wide on the short side. Other point. There's a drive. Tomi the save on the shot by Starikov from the point. And Finland can't get it out of there. Svetlov with the puck. And now it is cleared out by Lehtonen for Finland.
Well, as you can see, the Soviets now will put some pressure on, tie it back up, and then they'll go to sleep again. That's the way it's been, and that's the way it will be. I have a feeling when this is over, we'll see an equal number of goals, unless there's something that happens in the last 10 seconds or something. But the Soviets got the pressure on again, Brad.
This is where Oyanen wheels around. Now watch as it comes out. It's going to hit the leg of Gusarov and just trickle in between the leg pads of Pilnikov.
Play underway again. Kasatonov back to get it, leaving it for Bekov. Soviets trailing now 1-0. Fetisov going all the way back into his own zone to Kasatonov. Now at center for Homatov. He gets checked, and here's Fetisov shooting it into Bekov. Centered it across. Homatov there, but he shot it wide. Kasatonov trying to center one. Knocked out of there by Keskinen for Sweden. Soviets come back. Homatov shoots. Hit the defenseman Virthanen and deflected high. Now Fetisov trying to move it in. But intercepting is Virthanen, who shoots at the length of the ice. And as Kasatonov goes back to touch it, icing call. 6:57 left in the second period. We'll be right back on CTV. Play underway as in center ice for Finland. Järvi checked in the play, and the Soviets shoot it into the finish end of the rink with Blomqvist back to get it. He leaves it for Saarinen. Back for Blomqvist. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Here's Bekov for the Soviets. Now it's Lomakin centered to Mogilny. Sliding pad save by Tomi, the goaltender. One of his best of the game. And now a tripping penalty will be assessed against Lomakin. And Finland leading the game 1-0. Now also will have a power play in the bargain as Boltland calls tripping.
Well, Lomakin headed for the penalty bench. The Soviets really pumped it up, of course, since the goal. Here's the chance right here as that coming in off his off wing.
Penalty for the Soviet Union, number 23,
left shot or right shot coming in off the wing and got that good shot away, and then the penalty coming back up the ice.
Yeah, Mogilny moved in and had a real good shot. But, you know, Tommy's been unbelievable in the nets. He's read all the plays. He's been there. And as good as the Soviets have had good chances, he's been there to stone them.
Well, Finland with a 1-0 lead, and now on a power play, this is Lehtonen, number 21. Slides it around on the boards to Susi on the other side. Into the corner to Lehtonen. Now back to the net. They'd work it back on the point to Ruotsalainen. Back to Susi. Soviets playing the box. Here is Ruotsalainen with a drive wide. Eloranta poked it in. Now over on the far side, Susi lets it go to Ruotsalainen. His shot blocked, and Starikov clears it out of there. Finland on the power play. 1:08 left in the Soviet penalty to Lomakin. Finland 6-for-20 in this tournament with the man advantage. Larionov gets it to Kasatonov, who cleared it to center. And Eloranta goes back for Finland. Off a stick and into center ice. Kravchuk shoots it back in, and Eloranta goes back to pick it up, but lets Ruotsalainen play the puck. Now Finland. Eloranta to center ice, dumping it in. In on right wing comes Tuimisto. But the Soviets, Fetisov back to get it. And he's able to clear it out of there all the way down the ice. Eloranta back after it. Still 25 seconds left in the Soviet penalty. Soviets here showing they can kill a penalty pretty well, too. And they break it up. Semyonov getting it to Svetlov. And back they come. Svetlov trying to feed it through. Semyonov into the corner. And now Finland take over. Ruotsalainen is number 6. Comes to center ice. Soviets Lomakin back on. Finland dump it in. And then Fetisov back to get the puck. Lost it behind the net. But unable to center it. Finland, now they drop it back. But Kasatonov there to break it up, and Makarov shoots it into center ice. 4 minutes left in the second period. Finland has scored the only goal of this game back earlier in the period. Oyanen on a shot that deflected in off the Soviet defenseman Gusarov. Now on the attack, Homatov, number 15. Side of the net, big pile up in front and cleared away and then carried out by Oyanen. He has a man with him. Oyanen elects to shoot and shot it wide as Fetisov got back to get a piece of it. Good chance there for Finland. Now Oyanen in the corner. Can't center it. And Soviets start out of there. Homatov coming to center ice. Homatov through the defense. A good save by Tommy on the play. And then Finland just shoot at the center.
Well, the Soviets going for the net a little bit more. As you can see, he made the effort to get through the defense. Here we go again.
That's Kamensky, but he couldn't get around Blomqvist. And Järvi clears it out for Oyanen. Vyakin checked in. Finland drop it back, and here's number 16, Vyrtänän. Now fired in by Blomqvist for Finland. And Vyakin back to get it. Over on left wing, Gusarov trying to clear it out of there to Bekov. We're down to 2:35 left in the second period as it's dumped in by the Soviets. Susi couldn't clear it. Now centered. Mogilny was there. Couldn't get a stick on it, and here's Eloranta feeding it into center ice. Trying to carry in was Lehtonen, but it's offside at the Soviet blue line. 2:19 left in the period. Ron, we mentioned earlier as we look at Karri Eloranta, who's had some NHL experience with Calgary and St. Louis, that Finland has produced a lot of great hockey players, but this year is the first medal they've ever won in the Olympics. How come?
Well, they're an inconsistent hockey club. Most people that have watched them at world tournaments and Olympic play just think they don't take it very seriously. They have a good time, and they just don't get up for any games except the game against Sweden, and they do that every game. They played a tie here against Sweden. They're a little fortunate here. They had the one good game, and that was against Canada. And they beat Canada 3-1 and destroyed Canada's hopes. And they're kind of just looking now at a silver medal.
Here's Starikov. A shot and an excellent glove save by Tommy. Well, Starikov. Maybe they're waiting for Starikov to score. They want everybody to have a goal.
Let's set up Starikov. What in the world is Starikov doing up that high in the zone? Look, just now, here's Larionov. Nice little pass. Starikov's right there. That's a defensive defenseman. Maybe they are looking for a goal from Starikov.
Well, he's in the right spot at the right time. What I like about Larionov there, he had the puck, he looked, the defender was supposed to be covering Starikov, took his stick and moved it to the left, and as soon as he did that, he put the pass right where the stick used to be.
Here's the loose puck, cleared around on the boards by Finland's Ruotsalainen. Starikov getting back for the Soviets to get control. And Larionov to Kravchuk, lost it. Here's a chance to Keskinen to Tuimisto. And Milnikov had to slide up. Now Ruotsalainen centered it across. Man was there, but it never got to him. Shooting from the point is Ruotsalainen, and Milnikov stopped that. Now Ruotsa line and a drive just wide. And at the side of the net, fanning on it was Keskinen. And here's Lariana. Lost it. Now Starikov out to Makarov. Going back to the goal is Lariana to clear it for Karutov. Now Makarov got it to center, but Ruotsa has it. We're in the final minute here of the first period, or second period. 59 seconds remaining. 1-0 Finland. This game moving on at quite a clip. It seems like the Soviets want to get to the gold medal presentation as fast as they can.
Well, they have control. Puck control is really the whole story of this game. They moved it around, move it around. They make a little thrust into the zone, then they get it back again, and they move it around. They're a little more offensive-minded right now, trying to get that goal back, and they're making the odd little mistake in their own zone, which is hurting them, but it's just not the Soviets at the top of their game.
And the man that's ticketed, or supposed to be, Finland's third goaltender, Tomi, has shut out this Soviet machine so far. Now we're going to get a penalty as upended behind the net was Yashin. And Finland will get a penalty. And Timo Blomqvist, former Washington Capital and New Jersey Devil, argues with the referee, but he'll go to the penalty box.
He dumped a Soviet player right behind the net. Here it is. Watch behind the net now. Blomqvist just puts a clutch on Soviet players. He was moving in there to check on Järvi. So for 42 seconds here in this period, the power play.
You see that all the time. As a defenseman is supposed to interfere to give his partner some time. And the one thing you have to remember, if you don't have good position to do a decent interference, don't start reaching out with your stick or your gloves. You want to keep your body basically between the guy chasing your partner and your partner.
The T-Shop shot deflects and goes over the glass, and we'll get a face-off in the finish end of the rink as you look at number 25, Yashin. The penalty, by the way, Blomqvist for interference at 19:18. Soviets down by a goal. Svetlov getting it back to Fetisov. And on the wing to Svetlov. Shoots one, blocked at the defense by number 7, Saarinen. And now Keskinen gets it by Fetisov and down the ice. Kasatonov back to get it. 15 seconds left in this period. Soviets trailing 1-0 and on a power play. Here's Semyonov. In on the wing to Svetlov. Semyonov to Fetisov, but Saarinen intercepts. Feeds Järvi, but there's the buzzer to end the second period. Surprise! Finland, after 2 periods, leading the Soviet Union, who've already clinched the gold medal, 1-0. Oyanen got the only goal of the game at 10:53 of the second period. Finland won, Soviets nothing after 2. How about that, Dan Matheson?
2 periods. So I would think the Soviets will continue to attack. Whether the Finns can hold them off is another story. The Finns have a lot more to gain in this game than the Soviets.
Soviets have already clinched the gold medal. Finland has clinched at least a bronze, and if they win this game, they could win the silver. And the Finnish team has never won a gold medal before. Well, Mr. Park, Mr. Roosh, do you realize, by my count, this is our 22nd broadcast of a hockey game during these 15th Winter Olympics. We only have 1 period to go. How about that? We survived so far.
Yeah. A lot of
That's
hockey.
all you have
Some
to
good.
say, huh?
Yeah, that's about it. That's about all I've got left to say. Some good, some bad in terms of hockey.
I've seen a lot of icings in the last 2 weeks, I'll tell you that. Here are the Soviets starting off on the attack, but it's cleared out of there immediately by Finland down the ice. Fetisov for the Soviets, hitting Larionov on the fly down the left wing boards. Around to Karutov. Karutov for the Soviets. Shoots one. Save made by Tomi. And then it's cleared away by Finland. Still 38 seconds left to go, by the way, and a Finnish penalty to Blomqvist as this period begins. So the Soviets on a power play. Fetisov to Kravchuk. Ahead to Karutov. And Ruotsa Lainen is back to get it. Got it off the boards, but Tisop missed it at the point. And Kravchuk will have to chase back as Milnikov sets it up for him. This is Kravchuk to Fetisov. Now to Larionov. Ahead to Homatov, back to Larionov. Fetisov at the point, shooting. That was just wide of the target. Centered out in front, but cleared away by Keskinen just as Blomqvist comes out of the penalty box. And Milnikov clears it to Gusarov. Larionov at center ice, over to Fetisov. Lets a shot go, high off the glass. Soviets send in 2 men, they come up with it. Here back of the goal is Yashin trying to center. He's in the grasp of Vyrtananen. And then as the puck comes into the goal crease area, Tommy slides across and smothered it.
All right, gentlemen, it's time to think a little bit about the overall tournament and all these 22 games we've broadcast and the other 14 or 15 that we've watched. Try and pick an all-star team. The players in this tournament that have really stood out. And the ones that we think are the bench. As you see there, some rather vigorous discussion. I think our friend Mr. Tikhonov is ticked off, if you'll forgive the expression.
Puck comes back into the Soviet zone. Gusarov over to Byakin. Now to Semyonov down right wing. He gets knocked down. And back to get it for Finland, and clearing it out of there was Oyanen, and he flipped it up over the boards. Well,
all-star goaltender.
Discussion up. Oh, you want to start in goal?
All right, let's start in goal.
Well, I'd say Andy Moe. I know Milnikov is up near the top in average, or at the top, but from what I've seen, Moe would be my choice.
Well, we look at the first period of the game against West Germany when he kept Canada in. They were outshot 17-6, and then that great game against Czechoslovakia that left Canada in a position to win a medal, albeit a slim position. That's one, certainly.
I would probably choose Morgan. I think what I saw today of Friesen, we got to put him in there. He was unbelievable today.
He had a bad game, too. But
a shot by Kravchuk over the glass. Go ahead.
All right, so we've got Moog in goal. Defense.
Fetisov.
Number 1. Without a doubt, I think we're all in agreement. How about number 2?
Well, I'll tell you what, Eldebrink, who plays for Sweden, has been an outstanding Olympics. He's been terrific.
So is Kasatonov of the Soviets, who's paired.
And Ruotsalainen has had a great Olympics.
He's playing out there today. Staviana, I thought, for Czechoslovakia. I don't know if anybody else on their defense has really stood out like Staviana has.
Shot from the point by Starikov, blocked. And back comes Finland. Oyanen couldn't get anywhere. Soviets clear it to center. Blomqvist over to Laiane. Carries in around the defense. Never got the shot off, though. Kravchuk coming up with it. Into the corner. It is Oyanen trying to center. Goes into the other corner. And here's Homatov. All right, have we decided on 2 defensemen?
Well, Fetisov to start with. Should we go for Eldebrink?
Yeah, I think Eldebrink would be
You take him ahead of Kasatonov, Brad?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think he made, as much as Fetisov meant to the Soviet Union, Eldebrink has meant to Sweden.
Well, you're a defenseman, or a former defenseman, so you get the final say.
I like to share the wealth a little bit, Dan. I don't like to stack them with one team, you know.
Here's an icing call as Beckhoff goes back to get it.
We'll put Kasatonov on the second team.
And we'll get to the forwards on our all-star team when we return.
Glory.
With Ron Roosh and Brad Park, Dan Kelly back at the Saddle Dome. Finland still leading the Soviets 1-0 as Fetisov chases back after a loose puck. He gives it to Karutov. Karutov clearing it out to Fetisov. Now to Mogilny down left wing. Here's Mogilny, who's out on the green unit this shift with Larionov and Karutov. Soviets fire it out into center ice, and here comes Lehtonen, dropping it back. Shot right on by Susi, and a good stick save by Milnikov on that one. Here comes Karutov to Larionov. And they dump it in, and Eloranta goes back to get it. And it comes into center ice. Well, let's get to the forward line on our CTV All-Star team.
Center ice.
Mr. Larionov.
I agree.
No doubt.
How about some honorable mentions?
Rory Millen of the United States. Poshek of Czechoslovakia.
Sweden, Rundqvist has caught my eye, their captain.
I think even that little guy, Gerd Krunchka from West Germany, has been kind of an entertaining player to watch.
Yeah.
There's a stoppage in play. Puck was hit by a high stick.
Right wing.
Well, there's only one that I can really see, and that would be Krutov. Vladimir Krutov, the human fire plug.
I thought that Bo Berglund had a heck of a tournament for Sweden. Another one that's been very prominent.
Krutov leads all the scorers, 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points.
Are you scoring
He's plus
champion?
12. He's going to be the scoring champion unless Larionov or Fetisov catch him. So I'd pick Krutov.
All right, so that's our right wing. The left side, we've got Makarov, we've got Liba from Czechoslovakia, Ulf Sandström from Sweden, Lars Gunnar Pettersson, who's their top, one of their top scorers for Sweden. Those are the names that stick out on the left side.
Let's pick up this play and then get back to it. A centering pass. Knocked away. Ruotsalainen at the point. Shoots one off a skate and wide of the net. And it comes back into center ice and is controlled by Finland. Ruotsalainen shooting it up the ice into the Soviet zone. And going back to get it is Biakov. Still 1-0 Finland, and we have to pick a left winger on our all-star team, right?
Yeah.
Brad, make the choice.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think there's a player that handles a puck like at full speed like Makarov does. And I know a couple of games he didn't really do anything stellar, but I mean, him and Ken Berry had a nice Walt scoring in the Canada game, and then he had again when he was playing against the Swedes the other day. So, but I think he's the best left winger.
Yes, but did he play the best here of the left wingers?
That's a good point.
Is Dieter Hagen a left winger?
Yes.
He's had a pretty good tournament.
Yeah.
Well, we still haven't got a left winger.
Left wingers are always hard to find.
Here's Starikov to Kravchuk as the Soviets attack. Shot off a stick and over the glass into the crowd. We're down to 14:07 left in the third period. Finland still with a 1-0 lead. Who wants to make the choice here?
You know what I like? I like the Swede. Lars Gunnar Pettersson, 3 goals, 4 assists during the tournament. He had a total of 7 points. One of their top scorers.
Okay, let's put your name down right beside that so we make no mistake.
All right, you put Ron down there. Now, what about Brad? You got Makarov?
Sure, I'll take Makarov.
I think I'd have to take Makarov too. I know we're picking a lot of Soviet players, but they have dominated.
They've got the gold medal.
Here's Fetisov to Karutov moving in. Shoots wide in the short side. Here's Mogilny, who's back out again on this line. Centers to Larionov. Shot and a stick save there by the Finnish goaltender. Soviets, Konstantinov trying to center it. And shot away by Susi into center ice. Larionov to Mogilny, into Karutov. He's bumped on the play by Viertanen. Mogilny into the corner. Trying to make a play, shoots, scores! The youngster Mogilny ties this game up for the Soviet Union. A shot from an almost impossible angle.
Squeeze through. So Mogilny gets himself a goal here. Let's take a look at it.
He just walks out of the corner. He doesn't even look for the pass. He just shoots, and it catches the right pad of Tomik and just redirects it in the net. Watch his right pad here. Boom.
Right off his leg and in. It's either the pad or the inside of his leg or the skate. A good view of that low-level camera.
So this game tied at 1-1. You know, when we were talking about all-star teams as we were, the name we didn't even mention that I think we might have was Serge Boisvert of Canada.
Oh, yes.
He's been outstanding, or was for Canada in this tournament until they were eliminated yesterday, or eliminated really earlier today when West Germany lost to Sweden. Four-man pile-up in the corner. Puck coming loose. And the Soviets hold it in. Semyonov then lost it, but getting back in a hurry was Gusarov. Number 5, Gusarov for the Soviets. Over to Biakov. Now to Big Semyonov, number 30. Semyonov center. Comes to the point. Fanning on a big slap shot was Gusarov. And here's Keskinen hitting a man on the fly. Laiane moves in and shot it wide. Actually, it was Leyton that was streaking down that left side. Now Twimisto, a shot right on, and a good save by Milnikov. Soviets in control. Gusarov feeding it out onto the right wing side. Vyakin to Bekov. Now over onto right wing, a chance at a stick save by the goaltender Toomey. Another save by Toomey. Here's Starikov holding it in centered. Knocked away by Blomqvist at Finland's defense. Now Bekov centered. And a whack at it by Homatop wide of the net. Yarby couldn't get it out. Soviets putting on pressure now. Shot from the point is blocked at the defense. And back comes Oyanen, number 20 for Finland. Oyanen dropped it, a shot. And a glove save by Milnikov on Yarby from the slot. And Homatop tries to get it out. And does into center ice. There's a collision at the blue line. Demyensky running into the Finnish player Vyrtänän. Now Demyensky back up, dropping it back, and they work it to Larionov. They played 9 minutes of the third period, 1-1. Larionov to Kasatonov to Larionov. Moves it in, shot from a bad angle by Karutov wide. Here's Fetisov. To Karutov, got it in front, knocked away, and then cleared, and we're going to get a penalty on the play against Finland. Soviets in this 1-1 game will have a power play coming up when we return. Timo Blomqvist of Finland, an interference penalty, 9:16 the time. And Soviets in a 1-1 game on a power play. Fetisov into Larionov. Knocked into the corner. Here's Mogilny, who's back out in place of Makarov on this green unit again. Has been through the third period. Mogilny, who has the goal. To Larionov, now to Karutov. Back to Kasatonov. Center to Larionov, but blocked in front of the net, and Saarinen clears it down the ice. Fetisov back to get it. Larionov held it into Fetisov. Eloranta knocks that away, and then Finland clear it out to center. Kasatonov to Larionov. 1:08 left in the penalty. Here's Fetisov. Into Mogilny. Now Larionov. Mogilny trying to center. Knocked away by the goaltender. Far corner for Yarby. Couldn't get it out. Here's Larionov, side of the net. Right through the crease. The youngster Mogilny just missed the deflection. Now Karutov off the crossbar with that drive. Soviets on a power play. Fetisov closing in. Shoots, weak shot wide of the target. Kasatonov couldn't hold it in. Yarby cleared it out of there.
Well, Soviets making an effort right now, and they rattled one off the crossbar. As you look at Karutov head for the bench.
Here's Vyakin with 18 seconds left in the penalty. Now to Yashin, number 25. Shot it back of the net. Saarinen there to clear it. Gusarov held it in. Now Lomakin trying to center. And Twimisto shoots it away for Finland. And that will end the penalty to Blomqvist. He's back on. 8:40 to play. 1-1 the score. Here comes Lomakin moving in. He's checked, and back comes Susi. Trying to get it ahead for Keskinen. But the Soviets are there, and Gusarov flips it down the ice. Carry Eloranta back to get it. Eloranta to Twimisto. Picked it up. Races in. Starikov checked in. Now Keskinen in front of the net. Eloranta shot. Milnikov to save. Eloranta again trying to center. Carry Eloranta still with the puck. Now Milnikov a glove save. And he held on to it. And we're down to 8:05 to play. Finland won. Soviets won. We'll be right back. All right. With Ron Roosh and Brad Park, Dan Kelly at the Saddle Dome. 7:40 to play in this game. Eloranta for Finland controlling the score. Still tied at 1. Shot into center ice. And Bekov tries to stick handle in. Picked out by Finland, but Bekop back to get it before Järvi could get to it. And here's Homatov. Homatov into the zone. Järvi tied him up. Over comes Bekop. And back for Finland comes Oyanen, but he was checked. Here's Fetisov. Clearing it rink wide to his defense partner, Kasatonov. Back to Fetisov. Into center ice to Larionov. Now Fetisov. Team's at full strength. Here's Larionov. Moving in. Karutov closes in. Shoots. Rebound. Both stopped by Tomi, the Finnish goaltender. And back comes Oyanen. Tries to center, and Milnikov cleared it into the corner. In there to get it again is Oyanen. Centered. Milnikov this time will freeze it. And we're down to 6:36 to play. Mogilny has scored here in the third period for the Soviets. Oyanen scored in the second for Finland. It's a 1-1 game.
Well, there's Mogilny, big star in the World Junior Tournament this year, a tournament that was won by Canada. And a big star of the future in the senior hockey as Larionov sits down there at the end of the bench. 1-1 tie here.
If Finland get a tie, they would tie Sweden for second place, but win the silver medal because of the better plus-minus in the goals department.
That's right.
And Finland has never won a medal, so they've already accomplished more than any Finnish team previous in Olympic history. And now we're going to get a penalty against Finland. Here's Biakin on the attack, trying to move in. And now, as Finland get possession, a hooking penalty coming up against Keskinen. A Soviet power play when we return.
Fire.
Well, a penalty to Keskinen of Finland for hooking. 13:43 the time. A 1-1 game, and the Soviets, with that great power play of theirs, having a chance to take the lead with the man advantage. The Yakin shot gets through everyone, but the goaltender Yuka Tomi, and he held onto it. Now a look at the penalty.
Well, just hauled down right near the boards. You get a lot of hooking. International hockey seems to feature a lot of that, and they call it. Makarov has been in and out of the coach's favor today. You see Mogilny playing on that line. He's on another line now, so Mogilny's been moved up to the #1 line.
He's been out on that line all this period as Mogilny. Now a breakaway for Lehtonen. And they get back in a hurry to break it up. Good defensive play by Biakin that may have saved the game for the Soviets. Here's Semyonov to Yashin, moving in, centered it, and fanning on it was Makarov. And it comes back into center ice. Here's Biakin. He just made a great defensive play. Now moving in offensively. Tomi the save, centered. Yashin trying to get it in front. Gusarov at the point. Then on left wing for Yashin. Moves in. Semyonov a shot wide of the net. Now the Soviets can't hold it in, and Susi clears it out of there. This is Gusarov. A minute left in the penalty to Finland, and they drop it back to Makarov. We picked him as our all-star winger, and the coach has thrown him back onto the third line. That's how much we know.
He hasn't done much tonight. I can see why the coach is a little upset at him. He's one of the ones that has kind of taken the day off.
Puck shot out of there by Twinisto. And going back to get it is Starikov. 38 seconds left in the penalty. Bekop for the Soviets. 4:50 left in the game. Finland 1, Soviets 1. Ruotsalainen back to get the loose puck. Circles and then cleared it out of there for Finland. Starikov back to get it. Soviets in the game have outshot Finland 31-17. But it's tied 1-1. Vatanen broke a play up at the Finnish blue line. Now carrying in on the left side, Kravchuk to Bekop. Back to Starikov. Into Homatov. Finnish player back on. Keskinen from the penalty box. It's centered. Demienski into the corner. And Keskinen, who has just served the penalty, tries to clear it out. Starikov held it in. And Finland fired out of there and down the ice. Milnikov feeding it up for Kravchuk. Less than 4 minutes to play. In this, the final game of the Olympic part of the hockey tournament, or the hockey part of these Olympics, I should say. Here's Karutop moving in. And it's shot out, and away comes Oyanen into center ice to Laiane. And his shot deflects into the corner. Fetisov back to get it. To Larianov. Knocked away, and Blomqvist has it at his own blue line. Cross ice pass to Saarinen. Teams at full strength. Now Laiane, number 17. And he shoots it in. Still Finland 1, Soviets 1. Here comes Karutop ahead to Mogilny. He's taken out of the play. Back to gut it is Eloranta. 4 men jam up in the corner. Puck taken and fired out of there, but held in by Konstantinov. Now Laiane able to get it out of there, and the Soviets control at center ice. Mogilny into Fetisov. Fetisov for the Soviets. Skated off by Saarinen. And the puck comes down the ice again, down to 2:45 remaining. Finland 1, Soviets 1. Here's Semyonov. Trying to stick handle through. Now Mogilny had it, but only for the moment. Lead pass down left wing for Nico Lainan with a shot wide on the short side. And Yashin gets it into center ice. Now we're going to get a penalty against the Soviets over in front of the Soviet bench, and Finland will get a chance here on the power play.
All right, Dan, I think we'd better look at the situation here. We've got a 1-1 tie with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. There are the Swedes watching, I guess, us down in the hallway down below. And what they want, of course, is the Soviets to score a goal. If the Soviets score a goal, then they get the silver medal. Right now they're sitting on their 3rd straight bronze medal at Olympic play. And for Finland, of course, they've never won an Olympic medal of any sort over all of their years. Now there's a possibility here of a silver medal. If they can just hang on to the tie here. Now the penalty up against the boards there.
The puck come along the boards, and Mogilny was going off, and it hit his skate, and his replacement had already jumped on the ice. A very good call by the official.
So too many men on the ice, a penalty against the Soviets.
Looking back at Finland's tournament, it is nothing to write home about. They lost the opening game of the tournament to Switzerland, 2-1. They beat up on France, but everybody beat up on poor France in this tournament. Then they won the key game against Canada, 3-1. They tied Sweden 3-3, beat Poland 5-1, beat Germany 8-0, but then lost to Czechoslovakia 5-2. But here now they're sitting on a silver medal. Just don't give up a goal.
And on a power play in the bargain as they move it in. Eloranta at the right point. Shot it in, cleared out by Kravchuk, but Eloranta there with less than 2 minutes to play. 1-1 the score. Finland on a power play. Eloranta shooting it in on right wing. Digging in is Lehtonen. Hildekop cleared it, shot at the open net. They score! Lehtonen for Finland. Scores on a power play. It's 2-1 Finland.
Watch Mogilny come out and stumble, fall down, knock it over the board. Susi shoots it. It comes off of Mogilny, or Milnikov right out to Lehtonen, and he puts it in. It all started when Milnikov come under the net to handle the puck, and he fell down.
The moment you get a deflection in front of the net, things can get out of control, and that's what happened. Milnikov had the view of the puck, and then it deflected, and he lost control of it, and then wound up in the slot, and Lehtonen was right there to put it in.
23-year-old Kari Lehtonen gives Finland a 2-1 lead. Lehtonen from Susi and Eloranta. 18:20 the time, a power play goal, and Finland has a 2-1 lead, and right now seems to have a lock on the silver medal.
And should the Soviets lose this game, it will be just the 5th loss for the Soviets in their Olympic history, which goes all the way back to 1956.
Here's Karutov trying to carry in. Broken up, and back comes Keskinen for Finland. Knocked it into the corner, and Kasatonov over to get it. Here's Ruotsalainen at the point. Shoots. That's wide of the target. Other point to Saarinen, and he lets it come to center. We're in the final minute here. Finland about to hand the Soviets their first defeat of these Olympics if they can hold this 2-1 lead. Back comes Makarov. Cutting in. Centered out in front. Batisa to Makarov. Now to Larionov to Batisa. Side of the net. Karutov in front. Makarov. Shot. Sprawling save by Toomey, the Finnish goaltender.
Well, Makarov has been non-existent this whole hockey game, and all of a sudden somebody turned him loose. Did you see him fly over that line, Brad?
In the middle of that shift, Tikhonov called off Mogilny and threw on Makarov. What great passing. You say you can't turn it up and turn it off. Look at this as they all over the Finns, and Toomey comes up with a big save.
Soviets won a tie in this game.
And Sweden looking on with nothing they can do about it.
Well, they've had their tournament.
30 seconds remaining. And the timeout has been called here.
Back in the history of the Olympics, the Soviets have played 4 games in which they've lost and 1 tie. That's an immense record, of course. The losses twice against the United States, and in both times that they lost against the U.S., they also did not win the gold medal. Was that Karutov there? A whack around the eye. They've also lost to Canada. That was back in 1960 on the team that Harry Sindon played on, the Kitchener-Waterloo Dutchman. And they lost to Czechoslovakia in 1968, 5-4. And the 1 tie was against Sweden in 1960, a 2-2 tie.
Hey, we have some unfinished business. First 30 seconds in this game. You guys didn't pick a coach of the tournament this year.
Well, in my mind, it has to be Tikhonov just simply because this team has turned around from what we saw. He's got a difficult team to coach at the best of times, but this team is, has been under fire by members of the team. Larionov had a lot to say back in the fall, back in December.
You know, Ron, I'll agree with you because of how dominant the Soviets have been, but I still don't think there's a finer coach in this tournament than Dave King.
And I won't vote for Tikhonov because he doesn't talk to the press enough. Just kidding, Victor.
He talks, but you got to get that dictionary.
30 seconds left. Finland leading 2-1. 6 attackers for the Soviets. And a face-off in Finland's end of the rink. And this big crowd rooting for Finland. Larionov on the face-off. Gets the draw, but Finland able to clear it out. And having to hustle back Fetisov. Good play there by Tuomisto to get it out of the zone. Now Larionov bumped by Tuomisto and knocked down, and then Kasatonov attacks Tuomisto and bumps him around, and now Larionov after Tuomisto. And he used his stick on him too.
Well, he took a couple of shots across the back of the head up along the boards. Larionov, usually a rather even-tempered individual, but up along the boards trying to get that puck over the blue line, and Tuomisto nailed him twice in the back of the head. He took exception.
Tuomisto came in and hit Larionov, knocked him head first into the boards. Watch this. Thank you very much.
There came Kasatonov.
Keep an eye on Larionov here. If we go a little farther, he wants to go and have a... No, we're not going to run any farther.
Now 15 seconds left. Finland leading 2-1. Soviets have already won the gold medal. Long shot at the open net. Misses the net. And Kasatonov back to get it. 8 seconds left, and the Soviets will get another face-off in the Finnish end of the ice.
Well, an interesting situation. I'm going to be very interested to see who takes the draw here, because Larionov, the weakest part of his game is his face-offs. And they're going to let him take the draw. Quite often in these situations, he'll move Karutov into the face-off circle, but he's not even on the ice right now. He's got that eye problem.
8 seconds left. Finland come up with the puck. And here is the same guy, Tuomisto, clearing it away. That's going to end it. Finland defeats the Soviets 2-1. And Finland wins the silver medal. The first medal they've ever won at the Olympics.
And look at the reaction down at the net. They just pile all over their goaltender. I guess he'll take that. He's had a pretty good game. Mildikov had to play very well on the other end of the ice.
Those guys coming off the bench could have been the toughest save or the toughest stop Tomi's had to make.
Now, does that look like a man who just won a gold medal? There's the coach, Pentti Matikainen. Just shaking hands with Igor Dmitriev. But he's not very happy with the way his team finished off this tournament. They owed a little more, I thought, to Sweden.
And there you see the hero of the day, Tomi the goaltender. A native of Tampere, plays for Tampere. He's throwing his mask. He's giving everybody souvenirs here today.
Well, there's Matikainen, the coach. As I say, they haven't had a great tournament, but they won the games that were very important. The loss against Switzerland, it didn't even count when it came to the medal round. They wiped that one off the boards.
Here's a look at the final seconds of this game. You don't think the Finns are excited?
Well, you're not going to win a gold medal beyond a miracle with Soviets playing in a tournament. A silver medal is quite an accomplishment.
It is, especially when you consider there was probably 3 teams that were ranked ahead of the Finns, including Canada, Czechoslovakia, and Sweden.
Well, we ranked them that way simply because of the way Finland plays in tournaments. They don't play tournament hockey very well at all. They've always underachieved. But a win against Canada, that was it for Finland. It meant a silver medal. Reverse the role, Canada wins that game. Who knows, Canada would have had a silver medal. That's how close 2nd through 5th was in this tournament.
The Soviets win the